Good evening, everybody. My name is Stan the Man, and you have tuned into Real Talk. Today, we're going to talk about Patrick Lyoya, a young brother that was killed by a police officer not long ago. Patrick Lyoya. Good evening, everybody. My name is Stan the Man, and let's talk about Patrick Lyoya. He was stopped by a police officer. I don't know exactly when, but it was very, very recently, you know, and he didn't survive that encounter. Now, I've been saying that these things, the status quo is not going to be here always. Something has to change. Something's got to change, in our favor. I feel like we are behind enemy lines. I feel like that there's a concerted effort or conspiracy to kill black men, you know, by any means necessary, and they use the police force to do it. Now, we all know that many of these police forces in the United States have been um, infiltrated by white supremacist groups. They hide behind the badge, um, and they do their dirt, and the system backs them up a lot of the times. Those are my thoughts, and I'm not going to change because it's happening too much, and it's too often. People being killed for little of no reason. Patrick Lyoya, a Michigan police officer who killed Patrick Lyoya after a traffic stop, pressed the gun against the back of his head, firing a fatal shot. A, a Michigan police officer who killed Patrick after a traffic stop pressed the gun against his head when firing the fatal shot. An expert who performed an independent autopsy for the man's family said on Tuesday. Dr. Warner Spitz confirmed what was last seen last week on video. Lyoya was shot in the back of the head while face down on the ground during a vigorous struggle with a white Grand Rapids police officer on April 4th. It happened April 4th. Spitz appeared at a news conference with the lawyers for the Lyoya family, who said they believe video collected and released by police show that the 26-year-old refugee from the Congo. Now, this guy, he came from the Congo. He, and that little country knows warfare. He came to escape that sort of thing, and this is what he get in the land of the free, home of the brave. He came from the Congo, was resisting the officer, not fighting him. He was resisting but not fighting. It's a big difference. You never see at first, you never see a fist. You never see a knife. No baseball bat, no gun, no nothing. Van Johnson said. that was not a deadly force in, scenario. And sure, I mean, I seen the video and it wasn't. I mean, he didn't want to get arrested. Who would? But the officer's life was not in danger because the guy was not trying to fight him back. Never gave a warning, halt, or I'm going to shoot you, or other words that can that we can all all imagine. He never said he never said, put your hands up, get on the ground. He never said nothing. He just went for his gun, pulled it out, put it to the back of the guy's head, and shot. I mean, a lot of times they stopped the video right before the shooting, but I saw the whole thing, and the officer never said nothing about surrender or lay down or anything. He just wrestled the guy to the ground. Um, he didn't. I mean, I don't even know if he was wearing a taser. I don't know, but he went straight for his gun, put it to the back of his head, and shot. Um, Spitz said he believed the gun was pressed against Lyoya's head when the officer fired, and I think it was because they was in close proximity, very very close proximity to one another. I mean, he was right on top of the guy. Based on the condition of the bone in the head, there is no question that that what killed this young man, it was a powerful bullet. Said Spitz, holding the skull to show where the bullet entered the head. Spitz performed the autopsy last weekend at a funeral home. The 95-year-old forensic pathologist participated in the assassination of investigation of President John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and other high-profile cases. So this guy, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. I guess you can call him an expert, or they call him, he's an expert on the situation. We can confirm that Patrick was shot in the back of the head. Attorney Ben Crump said, that's now scientific evidence of this tragic killing and what his family believes was an execution. Not only his family believe it, a whole lot of us believe it too. If you saw that video, you see that was an execution. At some point in that confrontation, that officer, he stopped being an officer. Then it became two men fighting for one of their lives because the other one was not, his life was not in danger. His life was not in danger at all. I mean, he was, I mean, the guy, he was a young, kind of muscular guy, and he probably could have took the officer if he wanted to. But but we all do the same thing. We try to comply, but they escalate and escalate and escalate. That's what they do. Lyoya's death was outraged by his family as well as many people who have watched the video of the confrontation with that officer. Well, like I said, at some point, that officer stopped being an officer. It was two men in a struggle over life and death. And we know which one won. Crumb said Lyoya could have lived until his early 80s, a long and fruitful life. There's no telling what the guy could have accomplished in his life. There's no telling what the guy's kids, his children, would have accomplished had they been given a chance to be born, to be conceived. You know, this is a tragic. This has got to stop. We as a people we have to come together. In every corner of this planet, all African diasporas need to come together. And those are my thoughts. That's what I believe. We need to come together and and combat this situation, because everywhere we are mistreated, even on our own continent, and that's crazy. That is unacceptable. Everywhere we are mistreated, even on our own continent. So let's remember Patrick Lyoya. Say a prayer for him, his family. You know, I will tonight. Say a prayer for your family and your friends' families. Say a prayer for people that you don't know that's going to run into these demons in police uniforms. But it's not only the police officers. It's the judges. It's the lawyers, especially those um, court appointed lawyers. They work for the company, for the government. You know, Patrick Lyoya. My name is Stan. This has been Real Talk. Have a good day.